Well, hello, this is National Sales Director Diane Sumpter, and I'm so excited that you are hanging out with me today on our One Thing Google Hangout. I have to tell you, that book is one of my favorite books. I'm just going to take the next couple of minutes and talk to you about a little bit about my journey with Mary Kay and a little bit about what it might mean to kind of partner with us in Mary Kay and the power that you have of even just washing your face with Mary Kay. And the other thing that I love to be able to do is just share a little bit about how we grow our business. So it may or may not be anything for you, but I will tell you that if your consultant asked you to be on this call, that you had to have 3 qualities. So you need to feel good about that, because there's a lot of people that we are not asking to be on these calls. Number 1, you have to be joy-filled, because we do not want any drama queens in our inner circle, and you have to be a hard worker. And so you've indicated that you take pride in the work that you do, and that that your word is your bond. And the third thing is that you have a desire to use your gifts and talents to be a blessing to other women and other families. So if you don't get anything out of today, you need to feel good about you. Well, I have been in Mary Kay. This is hard to imagine, but I've been in Mary Kay now 28 years. Oh my gosh, that's hard to imagine. I was introduced to Mary Kay when I was 23 years old. I was active duty in the Air Force. I designed and installed computer and telephone systems, and it was really my dream job. It was the job that I had picked whenever I came in. It was the job that everybody said that I would be great at. And on the outside, it looked really good. I have the equivalent of electronic engineering degree. So at that time, not only was I working for the Air Force, I was also interviewing to go to work at the CIA. So my career path was really headed on what I considered successful, which I was very quickly heading into 6 figures. Now, this was back in 1988, so that would be a lot more in today's world, obviously. And at that time, I was working rotating 12-hour shifts. I was gone about 10 days out of every month. My husband, who was also in the military, he went on to retire. I could only take about 8 years of that fun, but at the time we were both pretty new in our careers. I was at one base, he was at another. I was on call 24/7. In fact, one of the systems that I worked on was one of the ways the president talked to the head of the European forces. So it was a very high profile job. Our daughter was 18 months old, and I had college courses. And so what became my dream job turned into my nightmare life. And I can still remember at 23 waking up in the middle of the night feeling like I had an elephant on my chest, because again, like I say, on the outside it looked really good. My career looked good, my marriage looked good, I looked like I was a good mom, it looked like I had a good relationship with the Lord, but really it was a train wreck. It was all just this facade. And I can remember the night I woke up and saying, Lord, this is not the life you designed me to lead. I'm stressed at my job. My marriage is falling apart. Our daughter, when we go to pick her up, she was crying. And it wasn't that I was a bad mom. I was just an exhausted mom. And I was a brand new Christian, and so I wasn't able to grow in that. And it wasn't that I didn't love my job. I did. I'm telling you right now, I was totally addicted to the adrenaline. I loved the prestige. I loved the job. I loved the impact. I loved everything about it. The problem was that particular job required me to give up the other things that I was just as passionate about, which was my faith and my family. And whenever I got stressed, I would go shopping. And so then on top of all that, I had buried my husband and I in $35,000 in credit card debt that he did not know about. So then if you add in a little more stress, it's amazing I just didn't explode. And really I did, and it just kind of came out in other ways. But I can remember saying that prayer, and on Tuesday I picked up our daughter from her daycare provider, and Wanda that particular day was as tired, crabby, and broke as I was. And then on Wednesday I went to work, and Wanda, while I was at work, decided to start her Mary Kay business with the mission of getting me in Mary Kay. And I always laugh that my favorite F words are fun and faith now. Those were not my favorite F words back in the day. And so Wanda kept saying, Diana, you need to be a part of this Mary Kay thing. And I'm like, Wanda, I hate women. Do not talk to me about this Mary Kay thing. And she says, but Diana, this is your way to get out of debt. And I'm like, shh, you remember, nobody knows about that. And I said, I wash my face with shampoo. I do not know where makeup goes. And she kept on. And So then I shared my favorite F word with her at that time. And so I dropped an F-bomb on her and she cried. And then I felt bad. And then I felt guilty. And that's how I ended up at my very first Mary Kay event. And I will tell you, there was a couple of things that happened whenever I walked through the door. And number one, it was the first time in my life, y'all, that I had ever seen powerful women be supportive of each other. It's the first time I'd ever seen powerful women be committed to using their gifts and talents and ability to make the difference in the lives of other people. See, I was powerful in what I did in the military, but I could never give that away. I was so impressed that they were passionate about making a lot of money to give a lot of money away, not just to buy more things. And so, I mean, immediately I was really caught off guard by this Mary Kay world. And then there was not a whole lot I remembered about the marketing plan, but a couple of things that I did remember that night. Number one is that they had shared that Mary Kay was not a pyramid or a multi-level company. And I knew I didn't want to be a part of those. I didn't know what they were. I just knew I didn't want to be a part of that. I love that it was a 50% commission. And although I love math, I love to be able to divide by 2. And so that was really easy. And the third thing that they talked about was that I could build my own inner circle, that I could build my team. Because see, as good as I was at my military job, I still was judged based on the people on my team and how good of a job they did. And I didn't like that because I always outworked them and they always made me look bad, but I could not control my inner circle. So that night, whenever I heard the lady stand up and say, I'm a 6-figure work from home mom, I am part of a company designed by a woman for women, built on the philosophy of faith first, family second, career third, that I'm able to make as much money as I want based on how hard I choose to work. I get to decide who is on my team, and the company will pay me every single month that they're successful enough and they're making money and they order, and that I am able to create passive income. In other words, I get together with somebody today, I show her how to use the product, she feels valued, appreciated, loved, respected, and not sold to, that guess what, that not only would I be paid that day, but 4 or 5 months later when she ran out of product, that because she felt comfortable with me, she would turn around, reorder, I could make 50% again. And what happened to me, y'all, at 23 years old, I was able to see that, oh my gosh, that could really be a blessing for my family, that I could be paid for today and then turn around and be paid every single month, every time my team ordered from the company, and that I would not make money on them, that I would never have to sell a product, but that I could teach skincare, and I could teach people how to have, good skin, and I could teach them how to have a look that made them feel good. And then on the team building side, that I could be a coach and I could be a mentor and I could be a life coach, and that I could speak truth into people's lives, and that I could create a safe environment for them to grow into the woman that God intended them to be. I'm going to tell y'all, I was hooked for $100. Although I didn't have it, I did put it on a bad credit card, and by the time they figured it out, I did have it worked out. And I will tell you, that was the greatest decision that I ever made. But to be honest with you, I did not join Mary Kay to be a national sales director. I decided to start with Mary Kay to be able to make $500 a month. That my director said, look, if we could show you how to meet people based on your personality, be able to teach you how to create a conversation that was authentic. In other words, it would be a blessing to other people, and it sounds like you. If we could teach you how to fit it in your time, if we could teach you how to show the products, then you could create, if you wanted to, just working about 6 hours a week, you could create $500 in profits every single month. Would that be worth it for you to learn how to do that? Because obviously you're smart, you design computer systems, surely you could figure this out. And I thought, well, that is true. Blush has got to go somewhere in here, eye makeup's got to go somewhere in here. And I knew as a woman, and as a woman, that anything that we feel like is going to be a blessing to our family, we're going to find time for, right? So time's kind of an excuse. I knew I could find the money, because money's kind of an excuse too, that if we felt like it would be a blessing to our future and help us to design our dream life, we would be able to do that. So I decided that instead of it being a fear-based decision of not to get started, that it would be a skills-based business, that what if I could come into this for a couple of months and learn those skills, it would make me better at what I'm doing, and $500 a month for me would make a huge difference. Because see, for our new consultants, on average, are going to sell between about $50 and $100 per face. So if you're putting Mary Kay on 6 faces a week, guess what? That's about $300 a week or $1,200 a month. Well, half of that $600. Sorry, I needed to take my one breath. That was it. That's all I needed. There would be about $600 a month. We teach consultants to keep back about 10% to run their businesses. And so that's about $500 a month. Y'all, if you got started right now, think about in 5 months, what could you do with that? This summer, you could pay cash for a vacation. And we have a new product coming out, y'all, that's going to help eliminate cellulite. I'm telling you, your sales are going to skyrocket and your reorder business is going to be so big. We don't even have the numbers on it. What I'll tell you is that you'll be so excited, you'll just have to do like a naked cartwheel. So it's going to be a great product launch for you to be able to jump right in the middle of. The other cool part is the team building and of your customers. See, Mary Kay is primarily retail sales. So whenever you're out there and you're growing your customer base, there'll be a few people that you want to have a part of your team. And every time they go out and sell products, they make 50%. And when they order from the company, guess what? The company sends you an override commission check for 4, 9, 13, as high as 36% plus bonuses for as long as you're in the company and as long as you're out there working. You can earn the use of company cars. You can take cars or cash. I mean, a black BMW 320i or a pink Cadillac. Oh my gosh, I haven't made a car payment since I was 24 years old. See, I went ahead and got started that night. Everybody told me every horror story known to man to stop me from getting started, but I decided to be brave and go ahead and get started. 8 months later, we drove up in our very first free car. My husband and all those naysayers were the ones sitting on the front row. 3 months or 4 months later, we debuted as a sales director. I had tripled my income in the military, was able to qualify for an early out. I can tell you exactly where I threw my combat boots over the bridge and had the privilege of being able to be at home with our daughter. By the time she hit kindergarten, I was a 6-figure work from home mom, and the rest really is history. And to know now that I'm 52 years old and I've never missed anything with my family, never missed anything. Right now, our dad has just moved in with us. He's got dementia, and so he may walk in at any moment. I never know. It is our new norm, but I love that I can create a safe place for him. And that my husband, who retired from the military, is really unable to work in his job because of his back. And so now he's able to work with me. We run about a $4 million business out of the home. And that's what we want to be able to talk to you about is, what if it is your way to get out of debt? What if it's your way to make $500 a month? What if it's your way to make 6 or 7 figures? And what if it's your way to create retirement? Because right now, you know, of course, as nationals, we have the opportunity to retire. And so why get started with us? Well, I'm going to tell you in just a couple of minutes why you might choose to partner with us as a consultant or decide to move ahead, or maybe you just want to wash your face with Mary Kay. Well, did you realize that as women, we control over 80% of purchases in America today? Well, did you know that you don't know where all that money's going? And in Mary Kay, just as quickly as I can, I'm going to tell you what happens is every time you wash your face with Mary Kay products, did you know that you are directly investing in the hopes and dreams of your consultants? I tell my customers that the profits from my sales pays for my granddaughter to go to private Christian school. And so every time you see the Lord do a work in her life, guess what? You're going to be able to know that you invested in that. Ask your consultant, what dream life is she creating through her Mary Kay? And every time you wash your face, you're directly investing in that. Do you realize that every time you wash your face with Mary Kay, that you are creating opportunities for your county to make money? If you think that teachers need more money or your roads need more help, guess what? Then you know what? Because your consultant is an independent contractor, you're directly investing in your local economy. Do you realize that every time you wash your face with Mary Kay, you're directly investing in a company designed by Mary Kay Ash to create the perfect company for women based on the philosophy of faith first, family second, and career third, and that she wanted a company that was based here in the United States, that every time you wash your face with Mary Kay, you're supporting a $4 billion U.S. company, and that the majority of the products made in North America, South America, and Europe are made right in our manufacturing plant there in Dallas, Texas. And in fact, we're just breaking ground on a brand new $100 million plant right there in Dallas, Texas. We are privately owned and we are debt free. And every morning, 600,000 consultants in the United States and 3.5 million consultants worldwide and 5,100 employees in the United States that work for Mary Kay Corp say thank you for washing your face with Mary Kay, because you're supporting that. Did you realize that when you wash your face with Mary Kay, that the products that are made here in the United States are done with zero landfill? And all 5 of our distribution plants are also zero landfill. That means nothing goes to a dump. And even when we change change out our compacts. Guess what? For every compact that's returned to the company, Mary Kay partnered with the Arbor Foundation, and we've planted over 400,000 trees in the Bitterroot Forest just for you washing your face with Mary Kay. Maybe you want to be a part of helping us stop animal testing. Obviously, we've not done any animal testing here in the U.S. for over 28 years. And the way we did that was we conducted a separate test in vitro so that we can create a safe product, because we do want babies safe. You know, if they're going to drink the product, we want to make sure that we've got a safe product, right? Well, you know what? We have not tested on animals in 28 years. In China is our only other distribution center that only takes care of Asia, by the way. There is one test that we have to do over there by law. Well, guess what? We are doing the same thing over there that we're doing here. We're as committed to stopping animal testing over there and partnering with the Chinese government. We are we have a lot of influence. In fact, our 50th anniversary was with us as nationals, took place at the Hall of the People, which is the equivalent of our White House. Think about that. I mean, that's a lot of influence. But we're doing the same thing over there. We're paying out of our own money to do that test, and we're already seeing some differences. So, oh my gosh, if you'd love to partner with us to stop animal testing there in China, then wash your face with Mary Kay. Maybe you're committed to families. Did you know that over $3 million a year go to domestic violence shelters all around the United States? 1.3 million go to help find a cure for cancers affecting women. And we just wrote a check for 1.245 from our charitable fund to an organization called Love is Respect. And if you know of a young girl that is in an unhealthy relationship, guess what? She can text Love is to 22522. And Mary Kay, through this organization, is making sure that somebody's on the other end of that text. Just from you washing your face with Mary Kay, 97% of all of the money donated goes to one of those charities. And then the last thing that I'm going to tell you, as you think about a global impact, I could tell you a million stories, but my favorite is that when you wash your face with Mary Kay, that you're given the opportunity to young women in China. I got a chance to meet the #1 national there in China, and I asked her, what's the deal over in China? Why is there so much passion? And I can still remember that young girl through the translator and these huge crocodile tears running down her face. And she said, Diana, don't you realize that because of the money that we make in Mary Kay, that we are able to have more than one child? Now, y'all, there's a lot of implications that go along with that. And so I would love for you to think about, what happens when you wash your face with Mary Kay, and take great pride in that. I pray that you heard something today that moved your heart, that you could be brave enough to get started. It's only $100 to get started. Your second decision is whether or not you want to carry products on hand, what kind of wow experience that you want to have. And guess what? My $4 billion company is only asking you to be 10% brave, only 10%, because they're willing to take a 90% risk on you. If you don't like being a part of our Mary Kay family, never want to do it again, you could box up your product, send it back, and Mary Kay would buy it back from you at 90 cents on the dollar. Think about all those college courses that are not helping you now. Don't you wish you could get a 90% buyback? So I will tell you that there's 3 types of people. The first one is an A type of person. All right, let's get this started. Let's see what's going to happen. Be brave enough just to try. B is buy me a cup of coffee and tell me a little bit more. And C is I want to be a happy customer. So I want to thank you for your time. Oh, there's my second breath. Talk to your consultant. I can't wait to see how you're going to partner with us, either as a customer, as a brand new consultant, somebody committed to moving up into management, or just be a brand ambassador. We appreciate your time. Have a miracle-filled day. Bye-bye.